does this lawsuit assist him in getting more roles in the future? I would say probably not. It's just dragging himself and her through the mud.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense what you said though. Like she obviously knew what she did, so she's like, I have to get out in front of it and be the first one to say that he's the one that actually hit me.
The thing is, too,
because when he comes back to the defense, no, you hit me. It's like, wait, no, it was the other way around.
Dog, did you hear the audio recordings
No,
of like?
I haven't
Okay,
paid attention to any of it.
This is why this is truly fucked up. There's an audio recording of her on the phone with him saying that, yeah, go ahead and try to say, I, Johnny Depp, am a victim of physical abuse, and see who believes you.
Oh, shit.
She said that, and they played that in court. They played it in court, bro. They also played an audio recording in court of her saying, that they were having a conversation, and Johnny was like, you fucking punched me. And then Amber's like, I didn't punch you. I may have hit you. It wasn't with a closed fist. Yeah, I hit you. Okay, are you hurt? Little, like they went back and forth on that. So you know who the abuser is, but that's truly fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
man.
were they able? Like, were they able to like actually play that and use that as evidence in court?
Yeah.
Okay, because I've heard that when you record somebody and they're not aware of it, you have to throw it out.
Yeah. No, they used all of that shit in court. They used all that, and there's
why is it still going?
Well, she's now on the stand talking about things, but like, man, she's fucked.
It's all really interesting because, like, I have to admit, I didn't know anything about the situation. Mm-hmm. Now I still don't know much about it, but it's like because Johnny Depp is suing her, it like drew more attention to it. Like I think a lot less people would know about it. Mm-hmm. I guess maybe the argument from his side and from lawyers' side and people that are in favor of keeping his career going. Mm-hmm. Would say, look, all of Hollywood knows about this and we need to kind of clear the air for you to continue to, because you are losing out on money. But also, like, when you're worth $300 million, it's like, I don't know, like, I don't know, I'm not in his shoes. So I'm just kind of think like, I just wouldn't want to draw further press to it. So I might try to take the low road and just be like, let me just cruise on out of this. And 3-4 years from now, no one's really going to remember much about this.
He's suing her for $50 million in defamation, and she countersued him for $100 million in terms of defamation. So,
imagine thinking in your head though, like this is a very irrational thing. Like the money thing is the thing, right? Like them suing each other. But imagine like, does this lawsuit assist him in getting more roles in the future? I would say probably not. It's just dragging himself and her through the mud. Mm-hmm. Probably not great for either party. Does this court case somehow clear the air of like who he is and how he acts? I don't believe so, because it's like he said, she said. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how much like real evidence there is on anything. So I would just think that, I'm not in that situation. I have no idea what it would be like, but I would just think that I would rather like just be like, hey, I just don't want to publicize this any further.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, from what I mean, I could be misremembering, but like he's fucking Johnny Depp, so he can't go anywhere, right? Like he can't go to the grocery store, he can't go to fucking Starbucks. Like people are all over him anytime he steps out of his house. So he has like, I don't know, like several houses in LA. Like he just bounces from house to house. He has houses for a lot of other fucking people. So again, I'm not saying he's hurting for money, but I'm pretty sure they had a plan for his future, and then this really fucks that up. So maybe they're trying to get that back on track because, I mean, you're right. He's worth $300 million, but like how much of that million, is actually available?
Yeah, you got to always keep making money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you're right. Like right now, apparently, like he does have a lot of debts to pay or whatever. But the crazy thing is they were only married for 15 months.
I didn't even know they were married.
They were married for 15 months. 15 months, remember this. She tried in the divorce. She wanted him to pay her.
I love that Nsima knows so much about this. This is like my favorite thing.
$14 million tax-free. That's what she wanted him to pay her.
Like a lump sum?
Tax-free. So like he actually needed to give her like 20, like he actually needed to put forward 20 something million, but she wanted 14 million tax-free. like dog. No, the reason. Do
you think that like Elon Musk and Johnny Depp talk? Do you think like Musk was like, yo,
dude,
like I know that's some good pussy, but like, let me tell you something.
Dog, Amber Heard, that must be some good box, because like
It has to be.
Elon Musk, James Franco, like she's had some other just like wild celebs.
You know, the
that
dudes are
just
like watching the news and watching this court case, and they're like, "Yup,
Yep.
They're just like, shit, dodged a bullet there.
Dog, you mentioned it before though, devil pussy.
yeah." The little horns come out.
It's like, hello, how you going?
I thought that was a landing strip. Those were horns.
No, dude. The reason why, number one, I'm paying attention to this case a lot is because I've dealt with an ex that thought it was okay to lay hands. Right? I've dealt with that before, and I've talked to you guys about this before, but the amount of guys who I know who have, I never laid any hands or whatever. I never would lay hands on a woman. But you look at me, I'm 6'2", 250-pound black guy. I'm the person who people are gonna think is and I do jujitsu, is the physically one, is the physical one. But I dealt with a woman who I dated for a while, who thought it was okay, and she had her traumas and all that shit in the past. But when things got hairy, she laid hands. And I thank God I have the texts. I thank God I have the texts, because it's like, it's never okay for a man to lay hands on a woman. But I tell you, man, the amount of guys who I've talked to who are like, yeah, I mean, my girl slapped me before, or this and that. It's like, dog, it's never okay for anyone to lay hands on anyone, no matter what. Power Project family, how's it going? I want to tell you guys about the legendary Tasty Pastry. And we've talked about Ben & Jerry's and snacks and stuff on the podcast, but those can go against your goals. They can be too calorically dense, and they can really make you crave more bad foods. But the crazy thing about the legendary Tasty Pastry is that it's 20 grams of protein and 5 grams of net carbs and 180 calories, and they taste amazing. You guys need to check them out. They have tons of flavors. Andrew, how can they get it?
Yeah, and the other thing, they passed the kid test. Kids love these things as well. Head over to eatlegendary.com and at checkout, enter promo code POWERPROJECT to save 20% off all the tasty pastries, all the nut butters, all the almonds, everything. Again, eatlegendary.com. Links to them down in the description, as well as the podcast show notes. Let's get back to the podcast.
Like, people really need to learn how to bring down situations. Like, it's tough. You know, I know sometimes people yell and whatever, but it's never fucking okay. If you're a woman, it's never okay to lay hands on a guy. If you're a guy, it's never okay to lay hands on a woman. You don't do that shit. But I was in that type of relationship for a while, right? So that's why I'm paying so much attention to this, because if the person I was with ever said something like that, I know that people would believe her because of what she looks like and what I look like. Thank God I have the proof. But at the end of the day, it's like men who don't have the proof, and if somebody accuses somebody of doing something, as a man, you're going to get the shit end of the stick most of the time. Like, you have to be so fucking careful. Number one, you don't be a fucktard and lay hands on a woman. But number two, if you're a man who's ever in a situation with a woman who's actually physically, like, she hits you or whatever, get the fuck out of that situation, because that's dangerous for you, bro. It's dangerous for you.
It's probably just going to escalate. And then you can kind of see like, oh, well, you know, I had to push her away. And it's like, and then, you know, that's, then you're physical on them. And like, I mean, imagine if a woman like did hit you for several months, maybe a couple years go by, right? And then one time you get heated too, and you make contact, and you really hurt them. You know, now people are going to be like, oh, well, you know, come on, like, the guy is way bigger, he's way stronger, like, you know, what are you doing that, you know? And it just, the whole thing, like this case in particular, again, it fascinates me a little bit, because I would think that you would want to just like have this thing diffuse. Like, putting stuff in court is an interesting thing. It's not like it exonerates you from anything. Like, he might win money and he might win the court case, but people aren't like, yeah, he's got his shit together. I think people are like, his life's a fucking mess. Yeah. And so is hers, you know? And I think they kind of look at both people as having a different lifestyle than I guess what we're trying to live up to.
The good part of this, though, is like, because there are a ton of YouTube channels. I think there's this YouTube channel, Law and Crime. Like, dog, I'm watching this shit. There's this YouTube channel, Law and Crime, and a bunch of YouTube channels who are covering this case hard. And public sentiment is by far on the side of Johnny because of all the proof.
Yes.
But the thing is,
That's
dog,
true.
That's
a good point.
Public sentiment is way on his side.
Yeah.
People can see that this woman is a wretch.
Which I hate, because now there's a lot of women that do run into problems, that do have men that are abusing them. And if they come forward, they might just be like, well, maybe she's making it up for some reason.
But this is the tough moral aspect of these types of situations. And the tough aspect of the Me Too movement, because after seeing this case, you have to understand that unless there's proof, you can't take a side. It's dangerous to take a side, because when Amber Heard came out with this, people were like, oh, Johnny Depp? Yeah, of course, that cocaine-riddled man, movie star, beats women. And it's not the truth, but that ruined this dude's life. So it's like, now you have to broaden that type of situation and broaden that to all of these people who are putting forward allegations against individuals, man or woman. And you got to be like, as horrible as this is, I can't take a side here, because again, like it could be something like this. It could be like, okay, let's say it's someone who's like a boxer, right? And somebody, I'm saying a boxer, I'm not using Tyson as an example, but let's say a boxer is accused of beating his wife, or an athlete that's big is accused of beating his wife. Most people would be like, oh, yeah, look at that. He's definitely doing that in the ring. Of course he's doing that at home. But that might not be the case. Because you hear what Amber said. She said, try saying that in court, Johnny, that I am a victim of physical abuse or whatever. Try saying that in court and see who believes you. People know that when it comes to things like this, the public sentiment is not going to be on your side. So I can just accuse you of something. I could accuse you of something, and people are going to believe me. See how well that airs for you. And understanding that people are really that wretched and really that fucked up that they would do that, you have to take accusations literally with a grain of salt. You have to.
It's crazy.
It is crazy.
Didn't Mayweather he went to jail for it too?
Did he?
I believe so.
Shit. I don't know. I know nothing about that.
Yeah, because I remember him complaining that he wasn't getting enough nutrition in jail.
Really?
Yeah.
All those you know what I love? People always use inmates
All the time. They did it this morning.
In the podcast. I saw
on the chat.
on live chat, people are like, look at all these inmates coming out jacked. Like, what was the reason that they were saying
I don't
that?
remember.
I don't know if I remember, but
Obviously about protein, nutrition, carbs and stuff. And so they were just saying like, well, inmates, their nutrition isn't that great, but they still come out looking jacked or whatever. But someone's like, well, they're on PEDs. And I'm like, well,
there we go. But a bigger aspect of all this, and I guess this is all this drama stuff, but for the audience, man, I think a big lesson that we can just try to take away, or something that we should try to do, is just learn to communicate well with whoever you're with. Like, I'm blessed that I'm with a person now who I don't yell. It's never been my thing. I don't yell at people, but neither does she. In situations that we've literally gotten in very tense problems, we have discussed it. As in we just talk back and forth. We'll talk. No one's flying curse words at each other. No one's yelling at each other. As tense as it gets, we know that we're both trying to reach a resolution. We're not literally not trying to butt heads or fight with each other. It's not an argument. It's like, okay, this is a problem. We're trying to reach a resolution. So we love each other. How about we just talk? And the fact that she has the ability to just talk is so wonderful to me. I have so much peace because I've been with an individual who, if you said the slightly wrong thing, yelling and curse words would fly. And that's not the way I was raised, right? So if anything...
Yeah, how can you grow together? You just can't, I don't think, right?
No, of
if
course
you're not able to conversate. I think people in general, people are lazy, people are selfish. And when I say people, I'm saying all. I'm including myself. I'm guilty. Lazy, selfish, and jealous. Lazy, selfish, jealous. Put that on fucking repeat. And those are most of the arguments that you'll probably ever get into with whoever it is that you're attracted to. It's somewhere in there, right? And sometimes people are offended, or sometimes people are hurt at what you said or what you did or what you didn't do.
Mm-hmm.
And then so if you just think about that, it's like, all right, well, it's just a little conflict. I'm a slob and I left my stuff out, and like I'm pretty guilty of this, and my wife, she does clean up after me a lot.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of used to that. My mom cleaned up after me too. I should not put my wife in that situation. I should be more diligent on that side.
Mm-hmm.
But like, why can't we have of course we can have a conversation about it.
Yeah.
I'm still not going to do the fucking dishes. You're out of your mind if you think that's going to happen.
That's woman's work.
That's right.
Get in the kitchen where you belong.
That's right. Get
Andy,
those shoes off.
Andy, this is your joke.
We could talk about her because she's not around for the
She
week.
doesn't even listen to the podcast.
And that,
That's right.
she doesn't pay attention to
That's
anything.
right, Andy.
true.
Get in the kitchen. Mark, I'm joking.
I'm like, wait a second.
Andy, I'm joking.
Special guest, Andy.
Andy, he just walked around the corner. Hey, Nsima.
That's so fucking
But when these situations come up, I mean,
If y'all see that I'm never at Slingshot again in about 2 weeks, understand this is the reason why.
just falls through the floor.
Andy has that button where he just falls through like a
Delete. Sorry. Go ahead.
I think
Hey guys, if you like this clip, go ahead and comment down below and let us know what you liked about it. All right. Share this with a friend. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, we are on Reddit and Discord. All that's down below. All our sponsors and everyone that supports us down below there too. So you can get whatever you like from us. All right. Peace.